Okay, so good evening. On tonight's episode of Cooking with Curtis, we're going to make a fast, simple, efficient meal that's also healthy for your family. We're going to be cooking tilapia fillets with rice and steamed vegetables. And when I say we're going to cook efficiently, we're going to go ahead and start with the rice that we've got here on the oven. And then once it's got to the point with which it's boiling and simmering, then we're going to put together our vegetables for the evening, and we're going to put those on so that way they can steam. And then we'll progress to the tilapia fillets, which will show how we're going to saute them in a pan with various items and season them, and then the meal should be ready hopefully around the same time once we put everything together. So the boiling of the rice, we're going to go ahead and stir it up. We put a little bit of oil in there so that way the rice doesn't stick together. And you can see we've got over here our steam pan that's going to go on top of that, as well as the vegetables that we've selected here for our family. We've got snap peas, broccoli, carrots, and some mushrooms. Of course, you can choose to steam whichever that you'd like for your family, but that's what we're going to make this evening for us. And then we've got our tilapia fillets here. And then what we're going to put in the saute pan to get started is a little bit of butter, some garlic, as well as my favorite secret ingredient, bacon grease. Some people may not find that healthy, but it definitely lightens up the flavor for about any meal that you'd like to make. And then on top of our tilapia fillets, we're going to put some black pepper, some Cajun spice, as well as some Himalayan salt to add to the flavor of our meal. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is stir the rice one more time because it looks like it's going pretty good. We should be able to back down the heat just a little bit once we stir the second time. And then we'll prep the vegetables and put on the steam pot and place over top of that. And then we'll start the tilapia fillets. So we've gone ahead and put all of our vegetables in the steam pot. We're going to go ahead and put it over the rice. Turn the heat down just a little bit because you don't really require that much heat to get the perfectly sauteed vegetable. You really only want to do this about 3 minutes to 4 minutes because you want to maintain the crispness of the vegetable so that way you can keep the flavor as well as cook them enough to be edible. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and put our saute into the pot and get it started. So we still continue to have our vegetables steaming here. And we've just combined our saute, which was the bacon grease, the butter, and the garlic. Spread it evenly around the pan. Turn the heat down. You don't want to burn it off too fast. You want to just melt everything down and let that butter and bacon grease all soak in. Get everything melted down. Prepped for our tilapia fillets, which we're going to put on here in just a minute. So we've gone ahead and prepared our tilapia fillet with the Cajun seasoning, the black pepper, as well as the Himalayan salt just on the top to give it a nice coating. And we'll go ahead and put them in the pan and begin cooking our tilapia fillets. By keeping your heat turned down on both of these, you can go ahead and cook things nice and evenly and not overdo it on the steaming of the vegetables and the rice. But you can continue to monitor it throughout, and however long it is you prefer to have your tilapia fillets cooked, I usually recommend about 8 to 10 minutes. And that usually doesn't overcook it, but gives it enough time to be able to absorb the flavor that you have in the saute pan, as well as cooking it evenly throughout. But again, it's just according to your own taste, but about 8 to 10 minutes is usually about the best. Okay, so we're about halfway cooking the tilapia fillets. The rice and the vegetables are finishing up the steaming. We're going to go ahead and flip these over and turn them the side down that had the seasoning on. You want to get everything nice and evenly aligned here in your pan so that way they can continue to saute on the other side. And then one of the things that I like to do after you get it turned over for the first time and it's continuing to cook throughout until it's finished is just take a little lime and squeeze over the top. I mean, it tends to take out some of the fish taste that people sometimes aren't too fond of whenever you have to eat fish for health purposes or whatever reason, maybe Lent or some other thing. And then it also will finish tenderizing the meat just a little bit that you're cooking throughout the finishing process. So just add that in. It gives a little bit of zest and enhances the flavor a little bit, and we'll be finished here very soon. Okay, so we've completed cooking the tilapia fillet. The vegetables and the rice had finished up while the tilapia was cooking, so we just put those off to the side so that they could continue to stay heat. So that way they could continue to stay in the heat, so that way we could finish the tilapia fillets. We have the rice to accompany our fish. And we also have our steamed vegetables and mushrooms that we can add to our meal to complete it. And we're looking at a quick, simple, nutritious meal. Probably has about less than 300 calories and very healthy for you. I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation. We look forward to seeing you again next time.